This is good, bro?
Yeah, man, that's perfect. How you doing, Tito?
Pretty good.
Alright, man, so how have you seen God move this week?
Alright, so one of the special moments for me was when we went to the refugee camp. And it was hard for sure. Just seeing the brokenness and seeing the way that they're struggling, their living situations and stuff. But God opened doors for me to be able to share with a family of 3 brothers and their specific families. So when we first arrived, we started handing out food, right? And then I felt like an urge to go up and down the homes and just pray over them. So I started doing that. I started just praying, and there was a guy that caught my attention, and I said hi to him, and kind of started trying to talk to him. Pulled out Google Translate, and right when I pulled Google Translate out, his brother shows up, and his brother speaks better English. And me and him kind of just started having a conversation, and then he's like, "Hey, do you drink coffee?" And I don't really drink coffee, but I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll drink some coffee with you." And he invited me into his home. His wife started making coffee for us, and we just sat down, and we started sharing. He kind of just started sharing with me how they ended up in Turkey, right? How hard it was for them to transition over here. He shared a little bit about how it's him and his 2 brothers, and they were at the refugee camp as well. I got to meet them. One of his brothers has his own family, and then he has his own family, and then another brother is single. And they're young. He was the oldest. He was 25, and the other brothers. I'm sorry, he was the middle child. He had a brother that was 30. He was 25, and then the other brother was 21. Which to me, that's our age group, right? And he was just sharing how they've struggled to find work, but thanks to God, they were able to find work where they're at, which is they're helping like farm land. They get paid about $2 a day, which that's what they live off of, which is it's hard, it's difficult. And he just shared how they just lost a child, right? 7 months ago, they lost a child to the winter. It was so cold that they lost their little boy. He was about a year old, and he already had health issues. And the winter just added to that. So he ended up succumbing to that and passed away. And he started sharing with me how it was hard, how him and his wife were struggling. His wife was actually pregnant again, so that he found joy in that. But it was still hard, like having to just go through that, right? That, however, opened the door for me to just be able to share with them and just talk about our faith, like for us to be able to share our faith. He shared with me how they're Muslim. I shared with them how I'm Christian, how I'm just a believer, right? And we just started sharing, and then one of the comments he made was, "Yeah, you and I are the same. Like our beliefs are the same, right?" And that like swung open the door for me to just be able to share about Jesus. And I started sharing with them and just explaining how Jesus Christ came to die for our sins, and for whoever believes in him, shall not perish but have everlasting life, right? And he was so receptive, and just receiving very well what I was sharing with them. Very, very friendly, like super loving, super caring. Just like it was a blessing just to be able to sit in his home and just share with them. And just drink coffee with him and his brother and his wife and kids. And yeah, God just opened that door for me to just be able to share with them. Jerome ended up coming in at the end and kind of mentioning we were heading out, and we were both able to pray for him, right? He allowed us to pray for him at the end of that. And yeah, we just prayed for him and his family in his home, right? This Muslim man like was receptive to what I was sharing about Jesus Christ, and like received it so well. Was so hospitable, right? Like his hospitality was just like beyond what I would have expected, and just so welcoming. And yeah, I think that was a huge blessing for me, just to see how receptive he was to just receiving what I was sharing with them. And I'm going to continue praying with them for him. We got each other's information so that we can stay in contact. But yeah, that would be one of the huge things that's been going on for me for sure. That where God just moved, yeah. God showed up.
That's sweet, bro.
Yeah.